Hi, Cor the Coach here. I will today explain something about the dojo method that I'm working on, and hopefully to inspire you and also to get some stuff out there. Because I believe that martial arts, at least the mindset, can definitely help you ahead. And today I will start sharing some stuff. Bear with me. The dojo is an acronym. Actually, standing dojo stands for disciplining. By the way, I have one of the worst handwriting, so please bear with me. If you cannot read it, please ask. The O stands for observing. And the J is, I use it for Portuguese for to play around. Jogar, or to play or to juggle. Juggling. And I will get into that more. And the O, the final O, stands for ownership. I'll get to that a bit more in a bit. Basically, the first D of the dojo, disciplining, it's about this. It's basically the heart of the whole thing, of the whole method, because we all have a mindset. I'm not going to talk about good or bad. We have emotions. And we have also actions. And why do I use the word disciplining for it? Because you need to discipline them. It's easy to say like, hey, it's somebody else's fault, or I can do some other stuff. It's all about disciplining the mindset. It's about putting it there. It's there. It can be either good or bad. It can help you. It can annoy you at some point. And what I want to do with the martial arts mindset is basically to help you disciplining them. And what can you discipline on mindset? For example, some people talk about the millionaire mindset, the growth mindset, fixed mindset. All these mindsets is what you can discipline. For example, if you're fixed on, say like, hey, I'm always bad at this. What does it say? It tells you that you have a fixed mindset on an action that you take or a behavior. If you say like, hey, I'm good at changing my life, I'm creating possibilities. For me, my mindset is that I have a beginner's mindset. I've been talking for many groups over, but I'm scared as hell for the camera. I'm now changing my mindset like, hey, you're the one you're the one sharing stuff. You are the one putting yourself out there. That's not the easiest thing to work on. But you can change that, you can discipline that. How? In a lot of videos that I will be sharing in the future, will definitely work on. Emotions is something that we have. Something happens, you see a cute dog, you have maybe emotions about a breakup, or maybe emotions about pushing through. These happen, it will tell you something. But why I use the word discipline for it? You can discipline your emotions, because not every emotion has their right time and place. You can be sad, you can be happy, but there's always a way to discipline that emotion. With martial arts, for example, if you're mad at something, you have a bad day, and you want to punch and kick people, that's not the way to use that emotion. However, you can discipline by saying like, okay, I feel this, I'm going to work on it. By controlling my emotion, by disciplining it. And I use disciplining as a verb, not as like, oh, you need to be disciplined, because that's an identity. That will be in the next step in observing. Then the actions. Actions is something you can discipline definitely. Talking about personal effectivity, your time management, what action do you take to get you close to your goal, and what do you want to work with? Because there's always a place to discipline your actions. For example, if you want to wake up in the morning on the right time, when you do have to do work, when you have to actually even work on your food. For me, at the moment, I'm actually losing quite some weight. And the fun thing is that it's not only discipline, but it's also disciplining my actions. Do I eat on time? Do I eat the right things? Do I fast? Because I like, one of the easiest thing for me to do is fasting, not to eat too much and having a short time window. But it's all disciplining. From that perspective, I want to go to the next step, and it's the O, from observing. Because observing is something that we do often, but from what perspective do we do that? Observing means for me is to see. And then I'm not the best drawer. What is your vision? Where do you look at? And often what I say is from identity. When I'm with my woman, everything that I do is from the observing identity of being a man, a caretaker, caregiver, whatever your words are using. When I'm teaching my capoeira class, I'm teaching from the teacher's perspective, and I'm observing everything from that. Does this help my students ahead? What's underlying these identities is that you have goals. Per identity, you have a goal. For example, if I'm a teacher, when I'm teaching my class, I'm actually teaching from a perspective like, hey, which goals do I have for my students? What do I want them to achieve? What do I want them to grow in? And this is something that it's not easy. Because when you have a goal as a teacher, it can conflict, for example, with the way of an entrepreneur. Because in entrepreneurship, one of the things that I'm learning is that I have to let other people do a lot of the work or hire people. But the conflicting part is when I'm looking at the perspective of a teacher, I'm the one to teach. Like, okay, how can I work on this? And one of the goals that I should have then as a teacher is to raise students that are better than me and that are able to teach also. So, and that's a process. And from all these identities, I can definitely go into depth, into learning, into building, and to work this out. So, going to this, if you go to the observation mode, is from what perspective do you actually look at yourself, your roles, all the goals that you have. This is something that I can talk for hours, but I will get back to that in multiple videos over. Then one thing I like the most is to play around. One of the things is that I've learned, and I used to have that as one of my mottos without knowing that actually this is the key, is jogar. Jogar means in Portuguese to play, and in capoeira, you don't fight capoeira, you play capoeira. And why do you play? If you look at the animal kingdom, it's that you are learning by doing, by playing around, by experimenting, by making mistakes. In the J of yoga, I want you to juggle. For example, if you have like 5 balls that you are learning to juggle around, in the beginning everything fails, but at some point you find the hang of it. You find a system, you find things that work for you. And by doing that, you are connecting everything that you're doing beforehand, like disciplining your emotions, actions, and mindset. By playing around with it, you're actually strengthening it. When you're playing around with different identities and different goals and taking action on it, it helps you to find out, okay, these are the goals that are good for me. Because I can tell you, for example, if you're already fit, do you need to lose weight? Maybe, maybe not. That's not, and by checking it out, by researching this, you can check for yourself if it works. If you're, for example, if you're a martial artist and watching this, and you are by nature good with your hands, and I ask you, do all the kicking types, work on the kicks, then I'm only working on the weakness part, and not actually helping you to strengthen. So, and that happens with a lot of things that we do in life. For example, my main focus on sharing this with you is because I want to help leaders, young leaders, to get ahead, to get better than themselves. And martial arts definitely helped me to become a leader, but also understanding how it is to follow, how to learn rules, written and unwritten rules. And that's during the play, during the teaching, during the training, I'm actually learning to play, to juggle, literally juggle around. This is not easy, I can tell you. But if we give ourselves the chance to play more, to experiment more, then you get better. And the final thing, and that brings me back to one of the scripts of Rocky 4, is about ownership. If you have the whole method of Dojo, then the eventually ownership is the one that puts this all together, that brings it all together. Because it's easy to point at fingers at other people like it's their fault, and whatever. There are also outside forces that will bring you down literally to your knees. It will hurt you, it will bring you bad stuff, it will actually let you doubt about yourself. Even while I'm filming this, I'm doubting about myself. But then I'm listening to this voice. From which identity I'm looking this at? I'm looking this from identity as a kid that was shy, that was not able to think for himself, that other people were pushing him around. But then I learned to take ownership because I let it happen. I took back my ownership. I started disciplining my emotions. I started disciplining my actions. And moreover, disciplining my mindset that I am able to help people, that I am the one wanting to share stuff, that I am able to actually help a few. Even if you're watching this and you're like, who's this guy from the Netherlands with his glass and talking about martial arts with the gloves in the back? I don't care about what you think of me. I do care what I can bring you. If there's something small that you can take out of this, I want you to think of like, hey, this is something that I can use. But it all is connected through ownership. Because it helps you to focus internally and to show out externally what you are able to. This is in short what I wanted to share with you about the method. And keep on watching, keep on searching, keep on sharing, and keep on asking questions. And also, if you don't agree with me, please be critical, because I have a mindset that I'm still a beginner, but I'm also a teacher. So I'm always willing to learn and to share what I do miss. And in the meantime, I've been working around in this world of 20 plus years. So I found out that there are some similarities in different fields, in business world, on the mat, when you're fighting, but also in preparation, in doubts, in self-doubt. Everything that works for me is what I'm sharing with you. And even what doesn't work for me, I can help you to reflect that and take ownership in this whole process. See you soon.